Hi everybody, I'm Nolan Hoffman. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on East Texas in Focus. Let's get started with our topic this evening. Well, tonight we are focusing on the Longview ISD chapter of the FFA. The school district is making history this year, now being recognized as the largest FFA chapter in the United States, boasting well over 1,000 members and several unique program opportunities, all designed to help students prepare for their futures by developing lifelong skills. We recently had the opportunity to speak with two student leaders and an ag teacher from Longview ISD who say they are really excited about all the opportunities being made available to students, adding they can't wait to see what else the future holds. Here's what they had to tell us.
FFA is an organization for everyone, and I think that it's great that our chapter is so big and that so many people want to be in an ag class. So I think that it's really great.
I feel like the kids have so many opportunities that it's amazing for these kids to have this. It's amazing to me. I've been in the program teaching agriculture for many years, and it just makes my heart explode with excitement for these kids and the opportunities that it avails for them. We offer animal science pathway, a food science pathway, a horticulture pathway. We are adding an ag business pathway. So anything from basic leadership skills to beekeeping is what we look at. We have vet science, we have a meat processing facility, we have greenhouses and floral design. We cover all of bases in agriculture as much as possible.
There's speaking development events, leadership development events, career development events. There is something for everyone, as well as showing animals. I personally don't show any animals, and I give speeches, and I'm an area officer and a chapter officer, and that's typically where I spend most of my time in FFA. But I know many people who do show animals and they love it, and that's great. And I think that FFA is such a great organization because it is so inclusive of everyone.
Real world experience is what we're about with FFA. That way they can transfer everything that they do onto their future. I feel like agriculture, FFA gives our kids so much more confidence. It gives them a sense of being. They get the opportunity to learn skills like speaking, and whenever you know that you can do that, then that will help with any interview, with any of your essays you write for college or any job that you get.
Whenever I first joined FFA back in 8th grade, I could not talk in front of people. I could not start a conversation. I couldn't go up to someone and be like, "Hi, my name's Bryn, like, what's your name?" But that FFA has taught me through this years that I've been involved that I can talk to people. I can now give speeches in front of people. I can now openly have a discussion with people, and I've really just come out of my shell, and that's what FFA has offered me personally.
Because of me doing Creed and talking in front of my peers, and like I had to say it in front of class to practice, that really got me out of my shell, and I was able to talk to more people, be more social, and have like open conversations while not being shy about it.
FFA offers so many opportunities for kids. They can succeed in just about anything. I mean, there's ag science fairs, something we haven't brought up, but there are so many opportunities for the kids to be able to do things. Right now, our calendars stay full. We're working on livestock shows for one. Major show season is going on, but CDE season has, which is career development events, a lot of evaluation of livestock, evaluation of wool, cotton, dairy, cattle, milk quality, where they're tasting, ag communications, where they learn how to do everything here.
For me personally, for leadership development events, I did job interview, so I had to create a resume, a cover letter, and then for the actual process of it, the day of competition, I had to go in and fill out an application and then actually have a phone call interview and then a face-to-face interview, and then after that was finished, I then wrote a thank you letter. So I think that that is going to help me immensely whenever I get a job in the real world, because I'm knowledgeable on how to fill out an application, how to speak to people, how to answer questions correctly in an interview. So that's how it's going to personally help me. But for I also give speeches, speaking development events, and that just helps me to be able to be confident in myself. It just helps with confidence and real world experiences that I can use for the rest of my life.
For me, it is the same. I do speaking events From me doing Creed to Ag Issues to more other speaking events that I've done, like radio, those has helped me like boost up my language speaking, because English is not my first language. I can speak 2 other ones, so me learning with doing all these extracurricular activities and all these events, they've helped me like fix my speaking, my grammar, and I'm more comfortable speaking in front of a large group of people when I wasn't before. Like the
Girls have said that it helps to build their confidence. They get the real world experience, a hand-on experience to do so many different things, like job interview, like choosing flowers for a vase, choosing meat when you go to the grocery store, growing vegetables, choosing your vegetables to cook. We do have cooking type things. It's all about being able to live and know how to live. The kids are driving this. They see the excitement, they see what they can do, and they are building the energy and building the momentum and serving people. And because living to serve is part of our motto, and that's something that we really focus on, is the community service aspect. So these kids learn to give back.
Since my 8th grade year, our program has grown so much, so I just expect it to continue to grow, and it's just really exciting to see and be a part of it.
Yeah, I think Longview ISD is just going to keep on going high and high and high. I mean, we got the ball rolling, it's just going to keep on rolling. I would say join. There's really nothing to be scared of. If you're good at it, then you're good. If you're not, it's just not your cup of tea. But you won't know unless you try, so trying is always the best part of anything.
And last year, we brought you a story about a former Henderson student who was named a finalist for his FFA project, in which he rakes, bales, and sells pine straw as landscaping mulch. He then traveled to Indianapolis and won. Trey Pinnell made history for the Henderson FFA, bringing back home first place in forestry management and products. Henderson ISD recognized all his hard work during their school board meeting. Our very own Tori Bean tells us what this means to him and the school district, who says they are beyond proud of Trey and that nothing compares to being named a national champion.
The winner is David Pinnell, Texas.
Being on that stage in front of that many people was something I'll never forget.
On October 25th, 2024 Henderson graduate Trey Pinnell took the stage with 3 other students at the National FFA Convention in hopes of winning.
I was really nervous. There's obviously a lot of people out there, and when I heard my name, I kind of looked at my ag teacher. I couldn't really believe it.
Trey received first place in forestry management and products for his business, Pinnell Pine Straw.
Created a business where he takes pine straw and he bales it, harvests it, packages it, and he sells it as mulching material.
A national title in the FFA has never happened in Henderson school history. And Tuesday night, the district recognized Trey. The board president, Russell Brown, beyond proud, as he has known the Pinnell family for years.
Seeing someone that you directly know in town get this high honor is, of course, personally very gratifying to me.
Brown hopes other children will take something away from this win.
I just say to every student, whether at Henderson ISD or any school, you can shoot for the top and make it. Here's a young man who has from a small community like Henderson, so the sky's the limit.
And after years of trying and not seeing any results, Trey says this is a huge accomplishment for not only him, but his family. Was it all worth it?
Absolutely, 100% it was worth it. All the hard work, all the hours, typing in the application, it's all worth it in the end.
And again, that was our very own Tori Bean reporting this evening. Last year, more than 12,000 Texas FFA members witnessed history for Union Grove ISD. For the second time, former Union Grove student Jeremiah McKee was selected for the Texas FFA State Officer Team. And before graduating in 2024, McKee spent his 4 years in high school heavily involved in the organization and isn't slowing down anytime soon, saying he hopes to inspire students to go after their dreams.
That was just overwhelming, and no words could explain the joy that I was able to serve this organization with everything in me. There's going to be times that could be hard, but it's always here to grow you.
Mickey, grateful for this honor, but says he wouldn't have made it without other FFA members, his teachers, and his family. And the Ford Leadership Scholar Program is one of the state's top honors for members of FFA. It's awarded to students going above and beyond for their communities. Tonight, Tyler Henderson introduces us to one of those scholars from White House, Texas, who is shedding a light on the wildlife inhabiting our very own backyard and setting a new gold standard.
Lily Adams often walks these trails, soaking up the sounds of the birds chirping and the Black Hawk Creek swiftly running after a good rain.
Even though I don't come from a traditional agricultural background, I've always found a passion within wildlife and just spending time outside. And
born in Germany, Adams' family moved to the Lone Star State when she was a young girl, winding up in White House her 8th grade year.
Since then, I've fallen in love with the city and the beautiful nature that is found here.
Adams was named a Ford Leadership Scholar her senior year, with brainstorming sessions on her sustainable community service project beginning shortly thereafter.
Okay, I can do all this stuff, but what does White House need? What can I do for my city?
But it was one meeting with the mayor that turned the light switch on for her.
As soon as they said you can revamp the Black Hawk Creek trails and kind of make it a more recreational and educational site, that right there is the moment everything just clicked in my mind of, oh, I can do this and this and this and this.
Then the real work began with one goal in mind.
You just get away from the technology, you get away from your work. As soon as you walk into these trails, you just kind of get overtaken with the feeling of nature.
It starts with the details, though, on that new metal cut sign at the entrance.
You can go to Tyler and go see all those really cool hike and bike trails, but it's mostly concrete and it's mostly just kind of still that city feeling. So the nature part of it is what really highlights the beauty of this White House trail.
Surrounded by a detailed large hawk and white-tailed deer.
We had the idea to do a birdhouse, and I was thinking, well, why don't we take that to the next step?
Maybe more importantly, it's the ducks that call the trail, creek, and pond home.
I discovered that there's something called wood duck boxes. There's the 4 of those sitting out there. Then from that standpoint, I was like, well, why stop at duck boxes?
Handcrafting the 3-foot-tall, 40-pound homes, along with 2 bat boxes and owl houses apiece.
Even if they maybe never get used, it's something for the either little kids or even adults that walk this trail to kind of realize that there are living creatures out here and just highlight that idea.
As we walk the trail and reminisce all her hard work, it's a project Lily doesn't want to leave in her past, hoping to return after college and encourage the next group to continue that work.
I want to see others be inspired to just have their own touch to the city. Just because like I may not have grown up here, I may not have done a million things to the trail, but just having that little effort put towards something can really blossom into something new.
Meaning Lily Adams meets and exceeds the gold standard in my book.
And again, that was our very own Tyler Henderson reporting this evening. Meanwhile, one East Texas boy is starting early before he's even old enough to join FFA. Dallas Martinez made history twice in Houston earlier this year. He auctioned off his grand champion pig for a record-breaking $500,000 on the road since his massive win, revealing the record for the highest amount paid for a market barrow pig. And he's also the first Hispanic student to win the Junior Barrow Grand Champion title. And the cherry on top of it all, this week he celebrated his 13th birthday. Dallas Martinez and his family are now back home in center. We caught up with them about his once-in-a-lifetime experience.
This is the moment then 12-year-old Dallas Martinez became the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's first Hispanic grand champion of the Junior Market Barrow Show.
Happy and excited.
Bringing home the bacon to East Texas, Strieber the swine was auctioned off for $501,000.
I was laughing, I was crying, just happy for Dallas.
Dallas turned 13 on Monday and returned back to school Wednesday to a fun surprise.
They introduced it on the intercom.
What did all your friends do?
They said, dang.
Where being raised in a barn is a good thing, Dallas has also gone from showing pigs at 3 years old to making history on one of the biggest stages in the livestock world.
Ever since I could walk, I wanted to be in the pig barn and show pigs.
It's not about the money for the Martinez family. It's a generational way of life, embracing the hard work that builds character and cultivates responsibility.
We feed in the morning, and then after that we wash, and then I walk them around the house to get their lungs right so they can walk better.
His great uncle working alongside him for years, rain or shine, instilling these values early on.
The week before Houston, he was on spring break, and I would say he averaged spending 14 hours a day in the barn. He was out there from at least 6 o'clock in the morning until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Emphasizing that you're not just buying and raising a pig.
Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice it wrong, you're going to do it wrong.
You're investing in the hard work and lessons that will be carried into the next generation by students just like Dallas.
And out of the $500,000 prize, Dallas will be able to take home around $50,000. The rest of the money will go directly to the charity supported by the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And Dallas just won second place with another one of his pigs in Austin. All right, that's a good start this evening. When we come back here with East Texas in Focus, we'll have much more on the accomplishments of the FFA right here in East Texas and more in depth with our topic. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back. This evening, we're focusing on the FFA and their impact on East Texas students, helping them to not only learn farming, but also to build the confidence they need to lead the next generation. And one recent Lindale High School graduate is living the dream after being elected to the Texas FFA State Officer Team in 2023. Tori Bean shares her amazing story.
High school FFA students are given the opportunity to run for officer positions, and the highest position in Texas is making it on the Texas State FFA officer team. Jacqueline Rand from Lindale is one of the 11 who were voted in.
We were all so excited to be there. We love each other so much, and it's truly a life-changing experience just getting into office.
Growing up, she was always around the FFA while her mother was an ag teacher. And in high school, she decided to give the organization a try. Now she gets the chance to help future members see how great agriculture can be.
Our main job is just to be a friend to the members, encourage them in all their endeavors, and just be a representative for them and their voices on the state level.
Rand represents not only Lindale and Texas. She will have the opportunity to speak to the growing amount of students around the United States.
The last few years, our membership has continued to grow, which is really interesting when you think about it, because a lot of times when people hear of FFA, they think about farming and think it's a dying industry.
It's a big year for the national organization, as they have seen an 11% growth rate and are close to reaching 1 million members.
In the next 5, 10, 15 years, we hope to continue growing our membership and really bringing agricultural education to more members for them to understand how important this is in everyday life.
Rand is excited to watch the FFA continue to get bigger and to have the opportunity to meet new people.
FFA has definitely been a source of true camaraderie for me. I always tell people I've been in several different organizations, but there's just no true understanding and fellowship that you get from your fellow FFA members.
For now, she is attending Baylor University while completing her responsibilities on the state officer team. But she left future and current FFA members with this piece of advice.
Just be yourself. Be open to people's opinions and always be willing to grow.
All right, when we return, we'll have much more FFA accomplishments from Henderson County tonight. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back tonight, East Texas. We're focusing on the accomplishments of the FFA here in East Texas. For more than 60 years, East Texas students have gathered for the Livestock Show at Fair Park in Athens. And their moment in the spotlight is a culmination of students' hard work over the past year, a true labor of love, and a great opportunity to gain deep life lessons they can take with them beyond the arena. They also have a chance to win scholarships to take their passion to the very next level.
Hardworking students from across the area showing off their animals and skills at the Henderson County Livestock Show. Competing for scholarships and other awards in different divisions, such as the herdsman category.
You can't just go in there, drop feed and walk out. You have to put in effort if you want to succeed.
It takes days of prep work to make sure their choice animal and holding space is pristine for the judges.
We use baby oil and we rub the combs, the feet. We use a toothbrush, water to scrub the feet. Then we use a silk pillowcase to do the feathers so it's like they shine.
This is daily work for students, weeks, months to years at a time. They say it is all worth it, and it is truly a labor of love.
I love to do it. Like, that's what I love doing. We live on a farm. That's just what we do.
But it's not as easy as it looks. With rising costs across the board, the around-the-clock care has become a costly passion.
Bag of feeds went up probably about $2, which adds up when you're buying a lot at like one time.
But no matter how the economy looks,
I had to get it because, like, if we're out of feed, you're out of feed.
They will adjust their budgets to show off their animals with great pride in hopes of making it to sale.
And again, that was Ashlyn Anderson with that story tonight. And in a testament to the FFA's impact on future generations, a high school junior in Lubbock, Texas has started his own egg business right now. Gunnar Claybrook started his business while he was just in the 8th grade and now has around 400 chickens.
I have 2 class periods to come to work. My advisors at school are really understanding of like what it takes to run the business and also be as active in FFA and stuff.
On top of his academics to keep up with, Gunnar Claybrook also has a business to run.
So it started when I was in 8th grade. I wanted to start showing pigs, but my grandparents didn't know if I was responsible enough to show an animal yet and take care of it. So we went and got 30 chickens. And so we just kind of built from there.
And soon, Egghead's Egg Company was born in his backyard, growing tremendously to having about 400 chickens to care for, laying about 25 dozen eggs a day.
We're really lucky, and we have a lot of different places where we put our eggs in town, and the farmers markets are super helpful.
The Friendship High Junior says balancing school and the work can be a lot, but he's gotten into a routine that makes it easier.
When I get home from school, I just go out, grab the eggs, fill up the feed and the water, and just make sure the chickens are good and everything. And we use a lot of some biosecurity practices on our farm because of the avian influenza that's been going along right now. So we're just pretty careful with that.
Right now, Egghead's Egg Company can be found at multiple farmers markets around town and even in a couple of local stores.
We put them in the All Hail Meats meat market in the Rockin' J feed store.
With the recent bird flu, Claybrook says the egg business has gotten tough, but hasn't lost sight of his goals.
Being in high school, like, I don't have bills to pay, so I just want to make sure right now, like, we can give a good product to our customers that they're going to want to keep coming back to.
All right, coming up after this quick break tonight, closing words from me as we wrap up our focus on FFA right here in East Texas and what they have in store for this year. We'll be right back. Welcome back, East Texas. We're wrapping up our focus now on the FFA this evening. The organization, which was once known for farming and agriculture, has grown in so much more, helping to lead the next generation into the future with confidence. As we mentioned earlier in the program, the Longview ISD chapter of the FFA has now grown into the largest chapter in the nation, and they will be attending the 97th Texas FFA State Convention in Fort Worth from June 30th until July 4th this year. The convention is an opportunity for members to be recognized, expand their professional networks, and gain inspiration. Then later this year, the 97th National FFA Convention and Expo is being held in Indianapolis from October 28th to November 1st. They will be at Lucas Oil Stadium, the Indiana Convention Center, the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and the Indiana State Fairgrounds. And next week in our program, we'll zero in on more issues right here in East Texas. That is all happening this coming Saturday on East Texas in Focus. Have a great night, everybody.